Hello, I am Professor Zahoor, ex-Dean, Faculty of Fine Arts, Jamia Millia Islamia University, New Delhi. In this module, I am going to talk about a technique called perspective. I will show with illustrations and through drawings how to create perspective. In nutshell, all distant things look smaller when we draw them. Perspective is there in everything. I will talk about how to see and create perspective in a landscape. In portraiture or even in any design, perspective is there. Here we will discuss about perspective in landscape. First thing to draw is horizon line. It is a very important line in landscape because every line meets here. Giving you the reference of a very famous painting by Leonardo da Vinci, Last Supper. In the painting, table is acting as horizontal line where Christ is placed in the center of the composition and his disciples are on his left and right side. In the foreground, there are rugs spread, whose lines are diminishing towards the horizontal line meeting the crest. Similarly, the beam of the ceiling are centering themselves towards the most important person in the painting, the Christ. Christ has become the vanishing point for the lines, which implies a point where all lines meet. Another important painting where artist has created an illusion through perspective is Mona Lisa. There is another painting by Leonardo da Vinci. It is created in two perspectives. The figure of Mona Lisa has been painted when the artist is sitting at the eye level to the model. But while painting the stream in the background, one can easily make out that the artist was above the eye level. The reason to realize this is that when at eye level, one can see the ground. But when one is above something, then only he can see downwards. The historians have observed this fact. It is evident that the painting encloses two perspectives in it. One can see how interesting perspective has made both the paintings. Let's see how to draw and understand a perspective. Mark a dot on the horizon line as a vanishing point. Vanishing point is always at horizon. Draw a long form, whether a tree, a pillar, or a pole. From the top and the bottom of the electric pole, draw straight lines meeting the vanishing point. This frame will form a boundary for more poles to be drawn at a distance. Then one can easily decide where to draw a pole without being scared about its dimensions at a distance. If one wants one more pole next to the tallest one, simply extend the top and bottom line to the frame to hold a new one proportionately. One can similarly create a wall also in the same way. One can draw a line of footpath also next to the angular line. Gradually, more depth and dimensions will keep on cropping up. Suppose there is another wall on the right side. After drawing the closest line of the wall, again make angular lines from top and bottom reaching the vanishing point. Draw straight lines in the triangular frame to indicate more poles or divisions of the wall. Another footpath can be drawn in the same way. One can join the base points to the poles with lines. The lines will keep on diminishing at a distance closer to the vanishing point. This is thus a single point perspective. It is giving an illusion of a railway track or road. One can imagine how, when one looks at the track from a stationary position and at a distance, it appears to be meeting at a point. In real, these lines cannot meet as they are parallel to each other. They are meeting at a point just an illusion. There are three types of perspective: 1 point, 2 point, and 3 point. Now we will try 2 point perspective. Draw a horizon and then a square. Let both edges meet the vanishing point on the Draw one more line to turn the square into cube. Keep on making lines in the triangle and many boxes will be made next to each other. For a 2 point perspective, one just needs to turn the cube in the angular position and make two vanishing points where the lines from both angular sides meet. After drawing a horizontal line, put a dot and make two lines in a cross passing through that dot. Gradually keep on making squares by drawing lines touching the crossed lines. After making 3-4 squares, it seems as if the dot is pulling the eye inward. And then pushing it out by widening of vision with size of each square. One can keep on protruding the lines and adding more and more squares. To add another dimension, create another angular line from the dot. Join that angular line with a straight line exactly parallel to the vision. From the upper end also draw another parallel line and make a rectangle. Like rays, make extension of lines from the dot, reaching in small squares or sections. Fill up the alternate boxes to make them stand out. In this one point perspective also, one can create interesting patterns. More and more one practices and exercises, these freehand drawings will help in creating new dimensions. Afterwards, fill the blocks on the path also with this shading. The linear drawing will keep on getting solidity. These flat blocks on the path can be turned into a box by adding height along with length or breadth. Interesting variations can be brought out with these opaque passages. Like John Berger says, drawing is a way of coming upon the connection between things, just like metaphor in poetry reconnects what has become separated. Draw another horizontal line for one more exercise. It is the line where all vanishing points meet. That is the horizon. Place a perpendicular line on it as an object. From the top and bottom of the object, draw lines both ways meeting two vanishing points, one on right of horizon and the other one of the left side of horizon. Draw two perpendicular lines parallel to the object but within the triangular shapes. A narrow frame on the left and wider one on the right. Keep on experimenting by drawing more and more lines. These lines will form their own angles with the vanishing point, and thus new frames will keep on coming up. One can explore more with perpendicular lines as well as more angles. One can count the solid rectangular frames being built by the angular and vertical lines. New equations are being formed by the two different viewpoints. Vic Muniz says, drawing is not only a way to come up with pictures, drawing is a way to educate one's eye to understand visual information, organizing it into a more hierarchical way, a more economical way. When you see something, if you draw often or frequently, you examine a room very differently. By observing these blocks, one can find rooms, building blocks, and divisions in the drawing from different angles. One can draw a rough line and then find new shape by rubbing off a few lines. Many forms and angles can be created as per the need of the artist. Within the triangular frame, and numerous architectural formats can be extracted from connection of a few lines. Erased line can leave their own impressions to explore and imagine hidden dimensions. Even without shading, these two-point perspective leads the eye towards a third dimension. One should look back and also not forget the object and horizon from where the whole drawing has been constructed. Before making a big drawing, one can exercise the format in a small sketch and decide the shapes one needs to create and the angles one needs to explore. Draw a horizontal line with an object in center and two vanishing points on both sides to create eye level perspective. As before, join the top and bottom points of the object to the vanishing point. To create multiple frames, keep on drawing. The lines will keep on getting shorter as they grow closer to the vanishing point, and the frames also keep on growing thinner. This is the way to create eye level perspective. When the object is at one's eye level, neither high nor low. Now is the time to draw a below eye level perspective. For this, the object has to be placed below the horizon. Draw a horizon and a line of object below it. Let the lines from top and bottom of the object form their angular connection at vanishing points on the horizon. Here too, more and more lines will create more and more blocks. The only difference here is that one can see the top of the block, just as one looks at the object from above. For above eye level perspective, horizontal line, place a line implying the object above the horizon. Like in all exercises, here to join top and bottom points of the object to the vanishing points. Create angles and draw the perpendicular lines to give shapes to the object. One can keep on making box in a box. When one looks above at the object, one can see the bottom part of it. Similarly, in above eye level perspective, one can see the lower dimension, as if the object is hanging and the viewer is looking at it from a lower angle. So these are three main perspectives we have exercises: at eye level, below eye level and above eye level. It is very important to practice from all these perspectives to understand the drawing and placement of the objects. It is a mechanical subject. For rough estimate, one can draw freehand, but if one wants accuracy, it is very important to use scale and rulers. When one stretches out the arm to take measurement, this perspective study helps him to read the proportions and angles. Let's observe the perspective in a landscape. Draw a horizon line again, and on it draw a tree. The horizon is already the bottom line leading to the vanishing point. join the top to the point 2. Gradually, one can keep on increasing the number of trees in the confined triangular frame. Where the tree will slowly diminish in size as it reaches closer to the vanishing point. On the other end, draw an electric pole. Join the top and bottom of the pole to the vanishing point. Another angular line will form a footpath next to the pole. If you draw a hut in front of the trees, then also the lines of the roof will at a distance, when extended, will meet the vanishing point. This will create exact proportion of how a thing appears from a particular angle and how its size decreases at a distance. One can keep on adding more and more subjects, but now back of the mind, one is aware of the vanishing point and the automatic format for making a chain of objects in a particular frame created by top, bottom and vanishing point. Make another electric pole next to the hut. One can make a series of more in the frame formed after joining its top to the vanishing point. In between the trees also can show a pole. But it has become so easier to guess the size of the pole drawn at a distance. There is no chance of it looking disproportionate. Another footpath can crop up in the scenario 2. One just needs to train the eye and catch the basic formula. It will become easy to observe and draw. Mind will automatically get in tune to the thing. Perspective can also be made in colors. There are three main colors which helps in creating perspective: red, green and blue. Blue always plays a role of distant color, the background. Red is a strong color, so it lurks in the foreground and appear bold. If it is somewhere in the middle, then its intensity will be a bit low, subdued, and won't be as bright as it appears in the foreground. Green always takes a middle part. Red, yellow, orange, all warm colors are in front, and the distant colors are cool ones. Especially blue looks more distant and cool after mixing with crimson and creating a mauve tone. Try applying the color over the drawing and all the effect. Blue and mauve in the sky and bright red in the foreground. The middle area will hold green and yellow. Abstract interplay of colors touches the spirit and is very thrilling, encompassing the hidden values of color, adding to the perspective. Vincent van Gogh very aptly quoted, as practice makes perfect, I cannot but make progress. Each drawing one makes, each study one paints is a step forward. Similarly, every exercise with lines, angles, colors, etc. leads to more exploration and more realization. An artist can make out with his knowledge and skill what strokes will help in creating an apt and desired effect for a particular expression. In another exercise, try to reverse the effect. Keep the strong colors up, green being neutral in the middle and blue at bottom. For trials, there are no restrictions. Vasily Kandinsky said, there is must in art because art is free. Explorations are boundless. One can exploit the accidental strokes also for a desired effect or try to see which new direction new experiments will take. Weight always pulls a thing downwards. So, when looking at both the experiments, we can make out that red at a base adds more the stability and beauty. It makes the scene more intriguing and pulls the eye slowly into the painting. Whereas with red on top, vision does not revolve in whole painting. The eye gets stuck just on the red and painting loses its value. But when in experimental mode, these notions can be totally rules out by the artist. Edgar Degas saying fits in very nicely here. Painting is not so difficult when you don't know, but when you do, it is quite a different matter. Experiment now with three vanishing points. Draw a horizon, a mark 3 point over it. Draw another line and divide it into many parts by adding dots. Take one vanishing point and join it to all 7 dots one by one. Then repeat the similar process with second point. The crisscross of lines will form its own language. This experiment is an extension to learn and explore more. Start the joining of dots with the third vanishing point. One can get the accuracy of lines if one used scales. Each line is getting intersected at 7 points. Vision is traveling in a complex way and in multiple directions. There are unlimited possibilities in meeting of lines. Every line, though separate, has now formed a language with the other intersecting lines. Explore more by joining the dots horizontally too. More intersections and more dimensions will be created. It is appearing as some mechanical layout. One can now move to the second drawing and try exploring the extensions. Extend the lines and make new shapes. The previous shape will hide itself inside the new form. Light and shade can further add charm to it. One can keep on increasing the forms in a triangular shape and try exercising with the study of perspective.